Wow, 100 people in here, man. Holy crap. Oh, man, do I gotta read all these? I don't even know if I can read all this. Charlie Hustle, Lord Addict, Xbox Creator, Apex J, Kelvin, Glenn Drew, K Alex, the great K Alex, Kwame, Corey, Capo, Brian, Copper, DRX Death, PMH, Charles, Davenho, Ron. I hate how they cut the thing off. I can't even read it. King Trigger, Crazy Kazi, Zero, Nine Lives. Sorry about today, Nine Lives. I know you're a big Xbox fan that was upset. Joel, Michael Squires, famous Michael Squires, Tom Baker, DXL, Dan MC, very nice to see you. Big fan of you. Always been the voice of reason. Ken, Lon, Ideals, Gog, Legion, Ernson, Jamal. If I listen, I can't read all. It's just like, this is crazy. 1 second. Hey, what's up? 1 second, my wife's. Alright, the wifey just came home. I love you. I'm not an Xbox fan anymore. Yeah, I left the Xbox. Yeah, they screwed up. They lied. They got caught lying. A big corporation. Who would have thunk it, right? They, they didn't stick by their words, baby. They didn't stick by their words. Microsoft, Xbox. They basically cheated. They basically at the point if I cheated on you and I'm at your position, you caught me cheating. Right now, I'm you. Yeah, I'm on the street, right? So basically, I'm you, and you caught me cheating. That's basically I caught Xbox cheating on me. Yeah, they lied. They lied. They're going out with PlayStation. They had this big relationship with PlayStation. Didn't tell us. What do you think of that, Irene? She says F them. So I don't take them back? What if they promise they try to backtrack it in a PR statement? They're lost, right? All right, I love you. Um, oh, Unified wants to talk. All right, well, I want to hear from Unified, so I'm really gonna not add a lot of people today talking. I just wanted to talk about how, yeah, the days of Xbox are over, man. Colin Penty, what do you? I know you. You're the guy at the coalition. You're a great guy. Unbelievable work you do. Um, I'll still be playing your game, probably on PlayStation, but on the Pro. God, imagine Gear 6 on the Pro. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hey Tim,
Hey, what's up, brother?
what's going on, man?
How you doing? What is your take? Are you think I'm overreacting or are you pissed off?
Man, I mean, I look at it from a business perspective. I'm just going to say this and then I got to go. But
Okay.
man, really, how I look at this is the rising cost of game development is
Mm,
insane. It's really a thing. And not only that, I mean, there's a lot of publishers out there, developers out there. I mean, they're considering raising the prices of games to not from just $70 all the way up to $100.
yeah,
And
probably
and and I, and I can
PC
tell you that it's a real
PC
thing.
six.
It's a real thing, man. That's not a joke. And so to see them doing what it looks like they're probably going to do, and I mean they're going to do it, but
Yeah.
what it looks like, I mean, where they're going, we'll put it that way. It's it makes sense given the climate, the gaming industry
Let me
climate.
ask
I
you a
mean the
question.
way it's
Does
going.
it make sense? Does it make sense? I agree. It makes sense in all that, but does it make sense on a hardware perspective? A
No, I
new
mean
hardware
it doesn't. I mean it
doesn't.
certainly doesn't really help their Xbox. I mean OEMs, man. I mean these companies don't really make an awful lot, especially at the beginning with OEMs.
Mm,
So really the money's in the software. The money's in the games.
right.
So Tim, that's I
What
mean
about
that's where
being
it's
a
at.
third party? What do you think about being a third party and then making Xboxes? Because I heard that is actually something that they might look into. You might have somebody like Android make an Xbox, or who knows, make a third party, thing that plays Xbox. It's all it is a PC, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Um. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of want to get some more clarification on like what's going on with Game Pass in general. Like, what's the future of that? Is that what's their
Well, I think
strategy?
what,
Is it
what
still 100%, mostly focused on Game Pass and maybe still trying to, get it onto rival, like PlayStation and Nintendo in some
well, they
capacity?
don't want it. I'll tell you right now, PlayStation and Nintendo, they believe in exclusivity, so they're gonna say no, we don't want your Trojan horse on our system. So that's not happening, and that's why they're in a situation. In if Xbox had their druthers, that's what would have happened. Is that they would have gotten Game Pass on their system, but that didn't happen, and now we're in the thing. Listen. I think Game Pass is very expensive. Yes. Does it draw a lot of people in and people are paying subscriptions? Yes. Does it make money? Yes, but the overhead's very high. They pay a lot for third party. the studios and the games that are being made are a lot of money. The hit that they don't take because people don't buy the game outright is a lot of money. So what I see in Game Pass future, I think ads are coming. They're gonna have an ad tier, and I don't have a problem with that because it doesn't affect me personally, and I do think that the barrier of entry is something smart. I always said that they should have done that. You know, the what they're doing right now is the last resort, which I have a major problem with. You should have tried Game Pass with ads. I'm also hearing that not all Game Pass games are going to go to Game Pass. COD, you might not see COD on Game Pass. It just might be something that they say, hey, we want to have the 70 or $80 per game that we're going to be selling. Now you're right. All the rising costs and the business perspective makes sense for it. But what I say is that it does, but it does two-thirds of the way. The third that you're missing out on is the hardware, and the hardware is is basically you're eroding your hardware base. You furthermore, word of mouth has went from bad to unconscionably bad, and they're in a real position right now where uh, the hardware, in my opinion, if I'm at that table, I'm saying you go third party software all the way. We deal with third party manufacturers to build some type of PCs or Game Pass things that can play Game Pass, but we're not doing the hardware. But they are supposedly going through the hardware, and you'll see the hardware in 2026. I just think it's not going to sell. I think it's going to be dead on arrival.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the appeal there is not gonna be the same, especially amongst like the great Tim Dog, the Xbox warrior man to the end.
Not well. Obviously, not to the end anymore. So,
Well, I mean, we're at the end, right? So to the end.
well, you know what? I like the reason why I made this space
Yeah.
was like people who don't know me. Listen, I'm a stubborn person. Now that I've went this route, I'm pretty much there. I'm not gonna wiggle back and said, you're not gonna see my Xbox avatar coming up anytime soon. And this is coming from somebody who dealt with a similar situation with the Mets. I was a huge Met fan, just like I'm a huge Xbox fan. Huge Mets fan until 2010, I believe, when the whole Madoff thing happened. And I personally knew Jeff, and I was really didn't like Jeff at all, Jeff Wilpon. And I just became somebody who said, I will not support them. I will not go to any of their games. And for about 8 years, I never spent a dime on them. And the day I started coming back to them and really supporting them is when they were selling the team or when they made the thing. So that's how serious I am. I things I love, I will make it a point if they screw me or they do something that I don't agree with or I think is just wrong. I'm gonna stand up to it. And here we are. I really don't like I don't like the messaging, the way they handled this, the way they let this go on, and I don't agree that you sell us a Starfield exclusivity just 2 years ago. You had Sarah Bond up on E3 or the showcase. You had everything that said exclusive, and then now you're saying, well, metrics indicate this and that. You can't be trusted. And this is also from somebody who wasn't a fan of them going to PC. I remember talking to Satya himself and saying that PC is not a good viable option. I think it's something that you should keep inclusive. I think you should keep it with just the console. And I said I understand. You're going to have two games. I wasn't a fan of that idea. And I remember the whole thing. And even with the way they did that, they promised a console game only with Quantum Break, and then like they pull the rug out under it. Crap takes the brunt of it because he gets basically what they could tell me right now. You're mad that Phil wrote a tweet to him. You're mad because other people can play games that on other platforms or whatever he said when it went to PC. He could say the same thing then, but the fact is that for years you talked about Quantum Break being only Xbox. You showed it only on Xbox, and then you pull out the rug, and now it's PC. And at that time, wasn't really happy with it. You also sold us on Windows Unified storefront, cross-buy only, never on Steam. And then you did the same thing again. You put it on Steam. You put Quantum Break. So they have a history of doing this, saying things that they would do and then going back on it. But for me, this is the last straw. It's way too much to ask the fans to accept this. It's just too much. It doesn't make sense. They didn't give their vision a chance. They didn't give the fact that Call of Duty game one day one on Game Pass. They didn't do it at the end of the generation. They did this the wrong way, and then they also went the cowardly route. The way they went about it, leaking it to whoever they want. Me, listen, the leaks could have been from somebody who wanted this to happen, the way they get the outrage. But they're not walking this back. Whoever that was, if that's the case, they're not walking CFO level decisions and things of this nature back. This isn't Game Pass getting walked back. This isn't getting walked back. They totally screwed this up. They totally deserve the criticism that they're getting, and they totally the silence is deafening. Like they built a reputation of answering fans and being there for the fans, and for 5 weeks from Blade to all the comments of Tim, they just didn't do anything. They said nothing and they left us for dead. All right, Big Poppy, I'm gonna let you talk. L, I'm gonna let you talk, and John, you're gonna talk. Make it quick. DJ
Yeah,
Rizzy, I'm gonna get
yeah,
you
but
too.
Tim, I'm here waiting though. I've been waiting.
Oh, Sycamore first. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm just
Sycamore
gonna make it quick,
goes.
right? So, I mean, with all that information coming out, I can't fathom how somebody could say, "Well, I'm gonna stay in the ecosystem," because they sold you on Game Pass and they said, "We're gonna cultivate and grow Game Pass. We're gonna create a value proposition for Xbox. Third party will come." To this date, you have games skipping Xbox, right?
Right.
Now, now they're putting all the games everywhere, right? Or pretty
Hmm.
much the whole slate. How does that convince third party, right? Because at the end of the day, hardware is not doing so great. So
Hardly.
how is that going to convince third party to say, oh well, we're going to release a game like Grand Blue on um, Xbox in Game Pass? It's just not viable at this point because at the end of the day, right? How is that even make? How is that a good option for any gamers?
It isn't.
Because there's no guarantee that you're going to get third party games at this point into Game
Right.
Pass. So you're just basically giving them money for Game Pass as far as what they offer first party. You
Right.
don't know whether the games is going to be great as all. You understand? So there's a lot of variables in there. So there's no value proposition there for
You're
there's
killing
just literally
hardware.
no value. Really and truly, if you're not in
You're
hardware,
basically killing hardware. This is
yeah.
a signaling of killing hardware, and whether they like it or not, or they want to greenlit something, you're killing hardware.
And
Okay,
and that's you can get that same experience on a PlayStation with all the games available to you. You
better
can
on
you
a
can you
pro.
can buy a Steam Deck, you can have a PC, and you have all the games available to you there. So I don't see how why I would stay in the ecosystem like that if I don't see a great value proposition as far as they're already missing out on games.
I
So
100% agree. So here we are. I have everyone in the freaking ecosystem pissed off. I got you, your G. You're just behind a couple of people. Big Poppy Sen, what's up with you? What do you think?
I mean, my biggest concern is all the digital library stuff that I bought over the years. That's my big concern
I'm
right now.
concerned too. I have 1,200 games owned.
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Like you said earlier, if their new hardware is dead on arrival, what I'm supposed to do with all the digital stuff? Like I don't know. I mean, I can't get a refund back for all those games that I bought.
Well, listen, they're a big company, so I do think that they will I don't think there's a devil here. I don't think that. What I think will actually happen is that their console comes out, maybe it's dead on arrival, and if they stop making hardware, they'll partner up with a manufacturer, and that person will sell the thing. They're gonna stay active as far as servers and all their games and Game Pass. So I don't think that you have to worry about the digital library. I think that they're fine. They're gonna be number one in gaming, so they're gonna be around for a long time. But as we know them, they're going to be a lot different in 3 years, 5 years than they are now. LMNOCPO, what's up? What do you have to say? And it's going to be John and then your G.
Hey, what's up, TimDog? What's up, people?
What's
First of all, man, I've been listening to you, especially on the Iron Lords today, and
up?
bro, I mean, I think you've seen my name pop up a couple of times over the
Of
years.
course. Big fan of yours.
So yeah, I've been with you for the whole ride, bro.
Yeah.
I've been with Xbox, man, since the beginning, bro. Since Xbox Live started, since they made all the innovations that we can, that every other company can congratulate them for forcing them to initiate on their end. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have PSN. PSN wouldn't be where it is without Xbox Live.
Correct.
You wouldn't have the hard drive built into the system
Achievements,
as being
you
a
would have
dude.
trophies.
So much innovation, so many things I was looking forward to in the future. That's what I was looking forward to for Xbox. Mostly that than just exclusives. It was mostly the I think the last innovative thing was Game Pass. That was the last big
Okay,
platform
very,
that
yeah.
no one did. And I think I feel sad because I feel like if this all this stuff comes to fruition sooner than later, I'm with you on that. Like I've been burned so many times, bro. I mean, I was a big Sega fan, still am,
Yeah.
but after Dreamcast died, bro, I was heartbroken then.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you go from there? I don't want to say I'm forced to buy a product I don't want. I've
Yeah.
had Sony PlayStation 1, 2, 3. I didn't buy a lot of games for it. I bought a few exclusives,
Right.
but I felt like in the end, it's like, oh man, I got no choice. Like I loved it when there was choice. Xbox gave you choice
Yes.
because it wasn't just I'm stuck with Gears, Halo, Forza. No, I was like I said, they had innovation on their side. They were introducing new ideas to gaming that Sony to this day never does. They
Right.
would never that whole thing with Crackdown. Remember when Crackdown was going to do that
Yeah.
huge online thing
They
where
sold
destruction
me.
was going
Yeah,
to
they've
stay?
always sold me on the innovation.
Dude, I mean, we saw the demo,
Cortana. I mean, the Kinect.
bro.
The
I
list
know.
goes on.
So now I feel like once that's gone, like that's why I believed in Microsoft because they were the software company that could innovate things. And now that's gonna, if that goes, I don't know. I mean,
I
someone,
think their hardware is dead. I think the signal. They unfortunately they believe that they're going to have hardware and they're going to be innovative. It's going to be basically their innovation is, hey, you can take your console anywhere and play it at 4K 60 in the 2006 console. But the problem is I just think that they eroded the fan base. They really screwed up to this week. This is going to be something that's going to set their brand back, set hardware back.
that's
Um,
heartbreaking,
and
especially after the documentary and everything. I mean, they
yeah,
were making it a legacy, bro. I mean, I wrote to Sarah Bond. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I wrote to Sarah Bond today, and I said, listen, with all the work you guys put into making this a legacy and making it a brand, I mean, I said my advice is stick with the course that you're going through right now. Let it ride its course, and before you start thinking about doing other things, because I mean, yeah, I'm with you, bro. Anyway, that's my piece, man. I'm
yes,
not.
a
But
great point.
before I step, just to address that, these decisions is not on Sarah Bond. Remember, she's inheriting a lot of bad decisions.
Well, she's
So
the president.
yeah, but these decisions is coming from the top. And
Well,
if the
she's got to
numbers
carry
is
it out.
yeah, but if the numbers is not, yeah, but I get you're frustrated there, but you're directing that when you direct that question, so she has nothing to offer you at that point because the
Well, she's
answers
somebody who could stop it or
yeah,
Exactly,
push
just
it.
like Phil would have.
yeah, but the thing is it's coming from the top, and if the top says, hey, go third party, and nothing them could do. There's nothing they
Agreed.
could.
I
Yeah.
agree with you there. I'm going to want to get John in here because he's been waiting, and your G. Then I'm going to go to Felipe. I want post up. I want you to talk. So just stick around. John, go. What's up? And a la carte, I got you too.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going
Sorry.
on?
So my thing is, right, like maybe
Yeah,
we should blame Phil Spencer a little bit. Maybe,
yeah, he
you know.
deserves. He deserves to be. It's not like it's not Sarah who should be.
No, no,
Celebrated.
Sarah hasn't even done anything. Like
Right.
this is Phil's fault. If it's anybody's fault
It's Phil's. He's
besides
the
the guy at the
CEO.
very top, it's Phil.
Right. He has to take the brunt of it. 100%.
I I feel like at this point, right, given the track record from Xbox One to now, maybe a new boss. Maybe they need to like not fire Phil, right? Because Phil's good at his job, but like not good at running Xbox. If that makes sense at all. I
Well,
don't think he's good at like
I think he's done a lot of good, but this is something that's going to be under his thing. I think this is going to really hurt his legacy. Yeah, I 100% agree. Um, and it's on him, and he's handled it badly. He should have nipped it in the bud. He should have, I think he should have handled it differently. I think that it's such a certain thing. It's so easy to see that you're killing your hardware and you're basically putting the stake in the heart of it by doing this. That there's no going back. There's no hey. I'm sticking this in, but then I'm going to revive it in 2 years. It's dead. DJ,
yep.
I want to just get some people to talk, and then you can come back. DJ Rezi, what's up? You have anything to say? And then your G, you're up after him.
Hey Tim, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
Hey man, I've been following your account forever. You're one of my favorite dudes.
Thank you.
I just wanted to do a couple of points. Now, a lot of people that I've seen online today are saying, well, at least Xbox is still going to have Game Pass, right? Oh, you're still going to get your day one releases. Well, as we saw with Starfield, now it wasn't necessarily buggy, but also now that PlayStation's getting it a couple years later, they're going to basically get the Game of the Year edition. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Why
yeah,
do I want to pay Game Pass to basically be a beta tester for Xbox? Now, don't get me wrong. The Xbox, I have all of it. I have a Steam
mhm,
Deck, I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox. But Xbox has always been my favorite. Ease of use. I love the interface, quick
yeah,
resume, all that. I'm going
100%.
to keep playing on my Xbox, but like
Hmm.
a lot of you, I will not be buying the new one if this comes to
No
pass because
way.
there's no point in it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? There's absolutely no point. I'm not going to, and I'm probably not going to renew my Game Pass because why are we, the Xbox Nation, as to say, being the beta testers?
100%. There's nothing to deny what you're saying is wrong. And again, this is the slippery slope that I keep talking about. Giorgio, I don't know what's up with that. Why do you have a pig as your freaking avatar? Your G, I want to hear what you have to say. You've waited comfortably. Also, Alucard be up right after him.
Sure. I mean, like, this is the future of gaming. I look, I get it. The sky is falling. If, for instance, the old school thought of, gaming and how things work and this and the third, I get it. As my man just said, right? You have everything, right? Right? You got all that. Look,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Tim,
Yeah, I
Tim, you
do.
got everything, right? We have everything, right? So let's put that into perspective for a second. Cool, beta testing, whatever, all those different things. That's fine. I throw those terms onto those games or whatever. I have a sub, I have a package, and I get the game first and foremost.
Right.
Now I can wait, right? Oh, so I can get the PlayStation, right? Okay, I get
Right.
the PlayStation, which I have one. But I mean, I can just say, you know what? I'm through with the Xbox. I'll wait for a year, 2 years, and then pay the 70 or 60, wherever the case may be, and then I'll get the game. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can do that.
Well, they'll
That's
probably
absolutely.
at that point they'll probably go day and date in a couple of years. But go on.
They might, but you don't know that. Like
It's
that's a
true.
hyperbole, right? That's hyperbole. We don't
I
know that
agree.
yet,
I can't say that definitively.
right?
Yes.
Because it's like PlayStation. PlayStation said they'll never be on PC, but they're going to PC. But
Yeah.
it's not day and date, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just think here's the thing about it, right? Let me paint the picture here. Phil told us we want to go anywhere you are. He said that. Am I mistaken?
He did say that, yes.
Okay. We want to go to the gamer wherever you play. We want to meet you where you play. This isn't surprising to me. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I
It's
understand.
not surprising to me in that standpoint. Go ahead.
What's
I'm sorry, Tim.
surprising to me, Georgie, and I'm going to let you say what you want to say, but
Mm-hmm.
all of that's true. But
Mm-hmm.
what I have a problem with is like you're telling me something 2 years, and you're making us wait on roundtables and saying where
Mm-hmm.
Game Pass exists. Now you're contradicting yourself. And then again, the way they handled this, if they just if they just
Mm-hmm.
dropped it and nobody knew about anything, and they
Mm-hmm.
dropped the news, and
Yeah.
they just said this is the way we're going, we can't do it
Mm-hmm.
the other way, I'd be much more open to supporting them. But
I got you,
how they've handled it, even my emails and
Tim.
like to the way that like
Mm-hmm.
they could have handled it a lot differently. So I
Tim,
personally, my problem is personal. But go
but
on.
Tim, Tim, they said case by case, right?
They did, but then they also
Mm-hmm.
prefaced that after at the
Right.
Bethesda,
I
Phil
got you.
said legal obligations, this and that. He made it pretty
Yeah.
clear where Xbox
Right.
goes,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to use Game Pass. And then they also said Starfield. There's been Sarah Bond went up there, Aaron Greenberg
Sure.
reiterated it.
Sure.
At that time, they were believing in the exclusivity. What happened is their hardware didn't sell the way they thought it would.
Their hardware hasn't sold though.
Right,
Like, let's
and
be clear. Go back to
it
Xbox One. It hasn't sold.
horrible. The Xbox One was more popular than
Right.
this, and that put them in a major bind. And
Which
I
is
get it,
crazy, Tim. Which is
which is
crazy
crazy. But it,
as a 13. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
no,
Go
no,
ahead. I'm
no.
sorry,
Go
Tim.
ahead. No, no, go ahead. I interrupted
I'm
you,
sorry. I
so
didn't mean
you
to step
can
on your
go.
toes.
No, I
No,
appreciate it, man.
yeah, no. As a independent shop owner for over 13 years now, I'm telling you right now, I got PS5s incoming every day. I'm stacked up, bro.
Hmm.
I got 10 to 15 right now. I have to go and look. Use PS5s all day. I don't get Series X's in. You know, I get asked about. Do you have a Series X? That's day to day
Wow.
life for me and what's happening. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I'm in Longview, Texas. Podunk, Longview, Texas, 903 Salute. That's where it's at. But at the end of the day, though, I go simply back to this, right? And and Tim, I know you're a little bit older than me, but in
Hmm.
general, we've been through the
You've been through the
rungs
wars.
of it.
Yeah.
We've been through it, right?
Yeah.
And
Of
again,
course.
as I tell everybody, the Switch ain't nothing but a Sega Nomad.
Yeah.
Sega Nomad, you pop the game in, you play it on the go, you hook up to your
Yeah.
TV, you go. That's
Right.
where we are. Sega Channel is nothing but Game Pass. There's certain games
Hmm.
like Golden Axe and different things that Golden Axe was at 3 or 4, whatever it was. Oh, you play it was on the Sega Channel. Like we've been here, right?
Right.
We've been here. But now remove that. They told us, for me, anyways. They told us,
Right.
look, Microsoft wants to drag people to the trough to eat. That's what they want to do.
Right. They did.
2013. 2013. We're digital. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It was a Sony patent that they used.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
It's a Sony patent. And
Yes.
Sony was going to do the same exact thing. They say, Nix, you're tripping. Your guy, Nix, you're tripping. I said, pause. How do you play games on the PS4 and the Xbox One? You got to put them in. They got to install. Why
Right.
is it different? Because it's the same
Right.
shit. They saw Xbox go at E3. They saw the
100%.
negative. They saw the negative shit. They said, "Hey, pull the camera out, sell the shit for $100 different, and we ain't doing that shit." That's what they did. Great
100%. Yeah.
business move. Great business
A
move. I
hundred
ain't mad
percent.
at it. Great business move. That put Xbox behind that
They're
right
still
then
not
and there.
recovered.
No, they haven't.
I could argue they're still not
Right,
recovered from
right.
that.
Don, old Big D, old Don. Oh, well, if you got internet, we got a system for you. So 360, man. Nobody's trying to hear that. Neither here nor there. But hey, Nintendo, Xbox and Play, they're frenemies to a certain extent. We're running this. We're gonna do this. And then when it went bad, Sony said, "Oh, rug pulled. Yeah, I know it's our patent, whatever. We ain't doing that because y'all got bombed at E3. We went
Right.
last, so never mind. We're not going to.
They
Here's
went
how you
first.
share a game. Here's how you share a game.
Yes.
However, though, let's be very clear. That was 2013. When you got to 2017, be clear. There was 70% of gamers online in 2013. When you got to 2017, it was like 71%. Only went up 1%. And you had the Kotakus, the IGNs, the Eurogamers, GameSpot run articles that said, go look it up. Don't trust me, go look it up. They said, maybe Xbox had it right out of the gate because everybody's doing digital now. You know what I'm saying?
No, they've always been ahead of their time.
Mhm.
And you make great points. And I think this is another ahead of their time move. But like I said, this is going to make them number one. Like, let me preface that. I don't
Right.
think it's a horrendous move, but I do think it's a horrendous move because I think at 2/3 of the way you get everything, but then you also shoot yourself in the foot with the hardware. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just
But they've
think
greenlighted the next hardware, though, right?
yeah,
You
no,
agree with that?
the hardware, but I don't
Okay.
think even when that comes out, I don't think that that's going to do what they needed to do, and
I got you.
I just think that they further eroded their good faith in a lot of things. Listen, you bring up some great points, and maybe if they had somebody like you at Xbox, it might be different because the whole thing just irked me from the start of it and just the way it was rolled out, and I
I
don't
got
know.
you. I'm with you, Tim.
I just think that they should have handled it differently.
Let me ask you this, Tim. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who's making more money right now? Xbox or PlayStation?
Well, PlayStation I think is making it, but in the future I think it will be Xbox easily.
Right. That's the curve. Because day and date on PC. And I was in a prior space where like, yeah, but that's going to saturate the market. Why would you do that? And I said, well, how many PC players do you think are out here? What do you think, Tim? How many PC players are out here? Just PC
Well,
only.
at that time, I mean, it's a lot. I think right now
Sure.
it's I think Steam's concurrent at most that they run is like the most that they ever run is 40 million. Maybe
40 million.
just on Steam alone it's 40. There's a
Right.
lot of PC gamers, and I hate to
Right.
say PC gaming with kids now, believe it or not, is
Mm-hmm.
becoming very popular because they
Yes,
want to
sir.
stream, they want to
Yep.
do everything, and they want to play games. And there's nothing better to stream, play games than a PC. Not even close.
So here's the thing about it. Why do I want to miss out on money? Microsoft's not missing. No, you can Game Pass Ultimate and be on both, right? But if you're not, I can still buy the games on PC. That's just
Yeah.
more bread. Sony, on the other
May I
hand, is going.
interject?
Let me let my plane, and I'll get out of the way. I
Let him
promise
make
you.
his point, and then you can
I'll
make
land my
yours.
plane. I'll get out of the way. I won't be long winded. I know I've been long winded. I'm sorry. I apologize for being long
Fine,
winded.
fine. You
Yeah,
respectable man.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
but
go ahead. Make a
yeah,
point.
yeah. Because I mean, PlayStation should be day and date on PC. It's just money.
yeah, I think they will be at one time.
It's just it should be just money. And the other thing that here's where Microsoft was ahead of the curve, and they kind of got off of it. Remember Biohazard, right? Buy it here, play it anywhere. Y'all remember that? Buy it here, play
Yeah.
it anywhere. That should be the future for everybody moving forward. Not just Microsoft, not just Sony, not just Nintendo. Like everybody, I can buy it on whatever platform. It's our money. It's our game, right? But I can play it anywhere.
Well,
And
I think inevitably that's going to happen.
yeah, it has to happen. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, all these businesses, it's not the 90s and what happened with the console wars, even the 2000s, everything else. Man, these companies are about making money. Salute to the plastic loyalty. I own everything. I do main on Xbox. Guess what? The next Xbox will drop. I'll main there too. It's fine. I'll pay for Game Pass, get my games day and day, and I'm not going to pay 60, $70, whatever it is over there on PlayStation a year later or whatever. And if it goes day and day at the same time, Game Pass and gets it, and then you pay $670, I'm not going to do that. I got my PlayStation for reasons of those exclusives, those different things. Nintendo for sure, I got that, and I'll land on this and I'll get out of the way. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to cost you $100 for the standard edition. I'm out. Go right ahead.
I agree with that. DJ Rezi, and then I want a la carte, then just one.
I'm sorry, I know I already talked, but the thing
you can make a point.
I want to just make a point. See, we as the Xbox fans have kind of have known PC is different. You're not getting that home console experience. Even Cuphead on Switch, we didn't mind because guess what? Switch is different. It's for a different audience. I don't play my Switch the same way I play my Xbox. The thing is Xbox going straight to PlayStation, a direct competitor, is going to end up giving Sony a monopoly and get that 30%. There's a reason Epic went to court against Apple to try to get
Are
other
you are
stores
you
on
are
their
you a game
platform.
are you a Game Pass member?
I am.
Why do you care? You're not paying $70.
The whole point of it is what I said earlier is the fact that we're getting it day and date, which means we're getting to be the beta testers, while PlayStation will get the definite edition this year.
Okay.
More than likely,
Then,
yeah, they're going to pay that $70. I paid $100 for Starfield to get the 3 days access,
I
and I'm
didn't. No,
also
you
a Game
didn't.
Pass.
No. That's a lot. That's like if you're a Game Pass member, it's only $35 to get the early access and everything.
Okay, well, yeah,
That's
I
a
paid the
lot.
$30 to get the
Right.
3 days. Excuse me.
So
Plus
yeah,
15.
Yeah, but to know that I might, like somebody else will just have to pay that $70 on that year, while I've been waiting months and months for patches,
mhm.
to pay that $70 to get basically the definite edition of Starfield, it hurts. I mean, it
So
hurts
you're
Xbox people.
so you're cool to wait for a year and then pay the 70, right?
Some people are.
No,
That's what
are
I'm
you? No,
saying.
no, no,
Well,
no.
I
I'm
think
asking you. I'm asking you. Are you ready to wait a year to pay 70?
At
If
the,
you
at
are,
the,
that's
But
great.
they said,
That's
I mean,
but the
okay.
article that
as
came
I'm
out
getting
said
older,
months, not year. It said several months.
When
yeah.
did Starfield drop? I mean, when did Starfield drop?
Oh, I'm not even
no,
talking about
I
Starfield now. I'm
think they're
talking about,
going. They're talking about Indiana Jones 3 months.
yeah, I'm talking about
So
Sure,
Indiana
Indiana Jones.
Jones.
Okay,
Months.
okay. So you wait. So you think 3 months, like the definitive edition, will be on PlayStation for
Oh,
Indiana Jones
fuck
from when
yeah.
it drops in?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay,
well, if they
absolutely,
do
because
have a
as
cloud,
games are going
okay.
out now,
if
you
they
can
have a
see it that
cloud,
day one is always buggy. So I'm paying for the buggy version where they get to wait and get it
Okay.
refined. That's what I'm saying. I am a Game
Okay.
Pass sub member,
Do you
but I
think
don't
three
know if
months?
I'll
Okay.
continue on it.
So 3 months, like Indiana Jones, right? This is I heard from Tom Warren. So you think when it drops on Game Pass 3 months later, it's going to be better on PlayStation?
Yes,
Not. Okay, cool.
well,
Then say less.
they'll have
This
patches
is
and
okay.
whatnot.
Okay, I got it. 3 months to get the patches. I'm with that. Here's the thing about it. This is what I love about the situation. Anybody that's mad about it, that's okay. I understand the concerns and everything. Here's the thing: the best choice for a consumer is choice. You get to choose how you want to spend your money.
Yes,
Spend it how
as
you
we're
want
all
to.
getting
I'm
as
okay
we're
with
all
that.
getting older, we have less time to play. I only play for maybe 3 hours a night. But what I am saying is, it doesn't feel like it's worth the investment anymore to be a Game Pass player. When yes, I might get it earlier, but I'm going to get the buggier version of it if I even have time to play it.
Okay.
I
Well,
feel that.
if you understand game development, 3 months ain't gonna be a big difference, in my opinion. Either now, Starfield, sure, there's a point to be made about Starfield. I'll buy into that a year
right.
later, whatever the
Although
case
you'll
may
get the
be.
DLC, but they
Okay,
Yeah,
also
well,
It's enough
you
time to
also
we
have
patch.
the
can agree to
cloud.
disagree. That's the whole point of the process. But
for
Yeah,
sure. You good, brother?
I'm gonna
You good,
say
brother?
one more statement, and I'm gonna let the other people that haven't got to
yeah. I
talk
want
talk.
a la carte to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one more point, and the point is that uh, if you know that all Xbox games are going to PlayStation no matter what length of time, it destroys competition. With Xbox hardware going down, we're not going to see innovations like Quick Resume and all this other stuff because we know. I'm sorry to say, I don't believe Sony innovates in a way that other companies do, especially if they don't have that competition. End quote.
Okay, that's a good point. Felipe, I got you after a la carte. A la carte, we've talked in our and in Xbox One. I also got you, obviously. I got a ton of people requesting. I got 500 people in this space. It's blowing up. I've never seen anything like this. So, what do you think, a la carte? Are you against it? Do you think it's a smart move, or you think they're out of their minds?
All right, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I feel betrayed. All right, I feel
Hmm.
betrayed about this decision. All right, so I think it's a terrible decision, not only for Xbox but for just the console space in general. I'm gonna get that out the way. I think
Okay.
not having a competitor for PlayStation in the console market is just bad. Even if Xbox is trash, like they were during the Xbox One era, like they were still there with the hardware, and they were
Yeah.
still like competing them in that space. But if this is true and that goes away, man, it's over. I'm paying $900 for a PS6, and I'm gonna like it.
All right. Well, that's and you know what? There's going to be a lot of people I think that are going to be going with you, or they'll talk themselves it. I wish PlayStation would have just took Game Pass on. Webula, I see you. Like I said, I got a ton of people requesting right now. Xbox One, my friend, my buddy, we've met in L.A. Are you still in L.A.?
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Ha-
Nice to talk to you all.
yes, man. I remember meeting you in what 2015. Always been a respectful dude. Great Xbox fan. What are you taking from this? Are you upset? I know I saw your tweets. I know you're kind of pissed off too.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I do have some friends in the industry.
Mm,
You know that you met
yes,
me at E3 for several times.
of
So
course.
yeah, apparently the rumors are true. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
to, to be honest, like on the at first it didn't bother me when it was like Sea of Thieves.
Right.
I think the game already grew to a
Five
point
years
that
old.
is not gonna go anymore unless
Right.
it's with the help of a new platform.
Right.
And understand that they did like I mean they have unique players. I think they're like over 20 million now, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
So basically,
25, I think.
so I was okay with throwing them throwing them a bone, with Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves. And Hi-Fi Rush, it was just really awkward the way they marketed that game.
Yeah.
So I can understand why
I
the
mean, you're not going to make money on a shadow drop Game Pass.
yeah.
What do they
So
think?
that was I
They're
think
using metrics.
and
Why we need to sell it on other platforms? I mean,
yeah, the reason why they did I think they didn't market that game is because it was going at the same time as the whole Activision Blizzard acquisition. So
could have been.
imagine like all of a sudden, oh, we're gonna market this game as an exclusive when Bethesda used to be multi-platform. So that was like a
Yeah.
conflict of interest. So
That's
that's the
true. It
reason why
could
it
have
was
definitely
explained
played in. And if you remember, Xbox was 2022 that we were on a desert drought of games. So if they had at least pointed that out 3 months earlier, there might have been a lot of 2020,
exactly. But now I'm gonna
2022 really
explain.
hurt Xbox hardware.
Now I
Really,
want to explain
really
to
hurt.
everybody here why Xbox is failing. Well, first of all, they have the worst PC infrastructure. You know me, Tim.
I don't
I'm
know
a
why they
PC
can't get
gamer
that
as
right.
well.
Why can't they get that right?
I mean, you know what?
Do you
They
remember
have
Phil
the
in
tools,
Mexico saying, we're going to focus and get this right on PC? Guess how long
bro.
it's
The
taken?
Windows Store is complete garbage. I hope somebody at
Y'all
Microsoft
care
is
that y'all
listening.
really care like y'all care about
I
PC or
no,
about the
I
console?
No, but
mean
I'm
that
honestly,
thing
asking.
yo,
keeps.
G, why
Just
can't they get
overall. Okay, I got you.
they
I mean that thing
really
keeps.
can't get Windows right. And listen, I personally don't care about PC, but I see it constantly. People will not touch the Windows. They say it sucks. They say there's no access. They say it's constantly buggy. Like,
Yeah,
have you
we get
used
the
the
worst
Windows?
version of the games. Like I mean when Starfield came up, I mean I have an ultra wide screen. And the freaking thing wouldn't even go up to full screen. I had to buy the game on Steam so I could get a mod and make
Right.
it work.
And
Like why do I have to buy
Forza
the
is
game on
another
Steam?
prime example.
Yeah,
That's PC in general, but
yeah,
Windows, man, I don't know why they
but
can't get that right.
yeah. So basically, they don't have Windows right. XCloud is not right. We all know that. It needs a lot of work.
Well, they need to switch the infrastructure on Xbox because
Yeah.
they
So
basically went with the Blade server solution, and you see what GeForce is doing with the PC solution, and it blows it away, man.
yeah,
And Google
I
also
think
blew it away.
the right now they can't their subscription stalled. Basically, they're not moving at the pace they expected with all the investment they're doing.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is basically uh, they need to get money from somewhere. So I like again
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves. I'm okay with that. That game needs to grow. There's a big community there, but I can tell you how they can fix this thing. I mean, freaking scrap Windows Store. Use BattleNet. That's a working system. I have it. I've been using World of Warcraft for
I
years.
would be all for solutions like that. Like I said, all for solutions like ads in Game Pass. I think the last solution would be, or the last the last thing that they should be doing is what they're doing.
Yeah,
That's
I
making
mean,
all
they,
third party
they
immunity.
fix. I mean, excuse my French. Fix your shit first. Fix your ecosystem. You cannot make your ecosystem grow if it's broken. And I hope somebody's listening out there. It's broken. It
But
doesn't
listen,
work.
this has been a common case for 5 years,
So
6 years. I
yeah,
remember talking to people in Windows because I know people developers too, and I'm like, why can't I find my games in Windows games? Like, what is the
yeah,
problem here?
yeah. Now another number two. Okay, so basically, number one, Windows ecosystem is not working for them. Number two, xCloud is broken, and number three, they need to give developers the time they need to make those games what they deserve to be. I mean, we all love Halo Infinite, but we all also know that that game was not what it was meant to be. That was like a
Well, on the
half-ass.
multiplayer side, yeah, they screwed it up.
Yeah, so that was they just basically. I mean, the game could have been, like everybody was saying, oh, this is gonna be the Breath of the Wild of Halo, like and the
Game was
open
great.
world,
It's
and,
just
and
that,
all of a sudden we just got that one ecosystem, and yeah,
yeah,
it was cool, but it was over so fast. I mean, it was
yeah.
damn, is that it?
They they basically mismanaged the multiplayer. They basically try to do a games as a service with about 1,000 contractors, and
Yeah,
certain contractors didn't have certain things. It was a complete mess. But I think that Pierre has gotten that situated, and Halo's in a good spot.
yeah.
I want
one
to hear,
one last thing
yeah,
one
one.
last thing
Go ahead.
um so give the time to the resources you have to work for the brand. They just got Activision. Just give the time to for those systems to enter the Game Pass. See what's going to happen for the brand. Fix your computer situation, your cloud situation. And why would you throw the towel now when you pretty much have Sony against the ropes with they ain't
Uh,
got they don't have anything first
uh,
party coming out. I mean, I
I was
just
thinking it
you know
is.
me, I'm a
Yeah.
gamer. I mean, I love Xbox and all, but I
You
do
play
have a
everything. You play
PS5.
PlayStation VR. I know. I know.
Yeah,
And you've
I
been
literally
critical
had
of
to sell my
Xbox.
PSVR because they didn't have shit coming out from it. You
Yeah.
know, they just announced the Metro game. I'll be playing that on PC.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my Quest 3.
Yeah. Everyone gets a Quest 3.
So
I,
anyway, those are the points that I
You made
had,
some good
and
points, and listen, the Xbox has other things that just scratch your head at that I don't get, like the PC infrastructure and the Windows Store is still a mess.
yeah,
Post up. I want to hear what you goat. I got you, Giorgio. I got to look at your account. I don't know why you're a pig, Mr. Bob Man. Let me just make sure you're not weird.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm just letting you get through
All right.
with the people that was here before me.
So what's up with you, bro?
I'm disappointed. And I
Yeah.
think this is. I think we're at a point where what's going on now is a culmination of a lot of things that even seeped over from the Xbox One generation. Um, in the Xbox One generation, it was poor messaging. It was poor marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like a first party, and then some other things. And we here in this new generation, and we have the same thing: poor marketing, poor messaging, and a lack of a brand identity. The same three things that was
Right.
in the previous generation has came over. So no matter what you fix, you could fix the hardware, you could fix the studios, but if the opinion amongst casual gamers is that Xbox is dog shit, it's dog shit. No matter what you do,
Yeah.
Yes,
no matter
sir.
how many studios are thing, and until you fix that, that will continue to be an issue. Now, what did we learn on doing the ABK trial, Tim? We learned that Sony was relying on Activision to fund their first party studios, right?
Yeah.
What you do? You
Right.
go and buy their kitchen, right? You now own the
Yeah.
kitchen that they eat out of, right? So, all right, okay. So let's keep let's keep it going. You already got Game Pass as a strong point. Then what happened? What did we learn? The Insomniac leaks, right? And we learned that Sony is really concerned about the power of Game Pass and Activision content coming together. They stated that
Right.
Microsoft has the ability to leapfrog them because their three pillars that they lack in, Xbox is already there. And those three pillars are a PC store, despite the situation is in. They're about to drop a mobile store. And then the third one is the development environment, having a unified development environment where you can create one game and it applies across PC, Xbox, and cloud, right? Which saves you
Right.
money, right? Then what else did we learn from the Insomniac? That they've been spending too much in terms of AAA. That they've been making
Well, AAA has just become
right.
ridiculous.
They also have been making dumb deals because they stated on one of them screenshots they released that we got to stop making dumb deals. No, seriously, we need to stop making dumb deals. So you have Sony who don't have a leader right now to lead PlayStation, right? You don't know the guy that's taking over is the chief financial officer. You don't know what type of person he is. They're going under reorganization. They have no first party roadmap. They're relying on third party right now, the same way they did to indies in the PS3 era. You have them in the most vulnerable position. And instead of doing what they did to you in the Xbox One era, you want to throw them a lifeline? Because when they saw you down in the Xbox One era,
Oh,
they
they
put the
lost
foot on your
everything.
neck. They tried to literally dry
Well,
you up
yeah.
of third party content and force you out of the industry, knowing they had a CEO that came in that didn't even know nothing about the gaming industry. We're talking about Nadaya, who thought it was better to invest in Mixer than in Xbox. What are we doing here, Tim? Am I lying? Huh?
No, you're right. Listen, that's my part. Listen, I think that, yeah, that bothers me too. It's just like you finally had a position where you had arguably a better hand. You definitely had the games. You didn't let it play
No.
out, and you basically you got shook, and you did this move, ill advised. Everyone's going crazy. Word of mouth again is bad
It's
on
bad.
Xbox.
It's
It's
we're repeating history
it's
right now, Tim.
they make you want to make you throw your head through a wall.
Exactly.
But one thing about Sony, and I'll give them that, with all that, they knew not to screw with the fans like this,
Exactly.
and that's what the Xbox has screwed with their fans, in my opinion. And they've kept us. They've talked a lot of stuff. A lot of the messaging has been all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. But Sony or Nintendo would not dare do this.
No.
And you know, maybe they will in the future. But right now they have it in Xbox. Like I said, I just think they're just making a knee jerk reaction. You should have maybe gave it a little
Tim.
time, and just not went
Yup.
crazy. But here we are, and listen, there is I got 17. I got 5 requests. There's almost 600 people on this fucking thing. I can't be doing
I
this all
know.
night, but
Uh,
I can't. But this and go. I want you to go. This is just a point that like everyone, there's a lot of people on this, and this is fired up. I can't believe that this is going to go on tomorrow, and how when they're going to finally message
Yeah.
this.
I
I
don't want to
kind
hear
of have
no
a feeling they're going
yup.
PRBS. Give it to me straight. Don't PR me. Don't try to come out and
Oh,
say what you gonna
oh,
do. Rip the bandage off. Because at this point, you didn't let it linger for so long. The, the image, you already then created a bad image by not saying nothing. Because you allowing,
well, and you struck it
yeah, you
along, and
so
you
you
looped the wrong
allowing people to
people.
create the narrative. You're not controlling it.
A
yep.
hundred percent.
Can I say one small thing before I go?
Sure.
I just want to say that the crap gamer curse is real. And
I love
and when we hopping on Foam Stars, Tim, I need to play it.
Oh man, Foam Stars is probably gonna do well. I heard it's fun. King, you're gonna be requested. Don't go crazy. Don't kick us while we're down. I want to hear Goat. I want to hear what you got to say. Big Xbox fan. I know that you joke around a lot. What do you think? What's your take? Are you pissed off or this is Goat, the guy with the goat, not your
Not
G.
me.
Goat. What do you think?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I want to hear what you honestly. Are you okay with it, or you think it's total bullshit?
I am personally, I'm not very, very concerned about it. And I might get a lot of hate for that, but I don't really,
No, it's
I'm
opinion.
not really concerned about, you know, as long as they make hardware, yes, I think that Xbox could be, um, they're still going to be a big brand, like I don't really
Of
think
course,
that
they're
they're
gonna be
very
big.
worried about console sales. I think that there's okay, like even about the guy that got he was kind of right, even though he came out and like that dude that everybody called out and said he was a failure. I don't think that Xbox is really worried about the less than 1% that are Twitter battling right now about,
Oh, yeah, that's what
oh, the game might be
the
up on
twist.
PlayStation or they're gonna get it 3 months after it comes out. Like people want to get games first, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to get the Xbox games that they come out with first, you're gonna have Game Pass or you'll have an Xbox or you'll wait, right? But then you won't get that FOMO of playing it first. You're already going to see it out on
Hmm.
YouTube. You're going to see all the clips. You're going to see all this crap. So if
Hey,
they get
go.
if they
Hey,
get the
go.
games later, they're going to get the games. You know?
Well, I mean, listen, that's what your G was saying, and that is definitely an argument. My issue with that is then say that or say that from the beginning.
Well,
And
nobody said anything, okay? I mean, Phil
well, they
just said
did.
a couple months ago that we're going to get new consoles, we're going to have exclusives. So that was his last statement, but everybody is on social media
No,
worried
this
because
is
that's what they
real.
do.
This is
It
what
hasn't
happened.
been that long. Just like what's his face post up just said, like he just said this a couple months ago. It's like how many times does he
But I'm
need to
gonna
say?
read you something. Listen, this is from the CFO, and I want you to read. I'm gonna read it to everyone here because it when it came out, I remember reading it and I remember thinking, wow, that sounds ominous. But you know what? I'm gonna refuse to believe this because this seems too crazy. And it was made by Tim Stewart. Just give me a second. Let
Yeah, I
me
know what you're
find
talking about. Yeah,
when he
yeah,
made
he's the
his.
CFO of the gaming division. Amy is the
Right.
CFO of the entirety of Microsoft.
But I know Tim, and Tim's a good guy,
Yeah,
and you know what?
yeah.
He's always held this. He's held this idea since Bethesda, and if you remember, he
Hmm.
made a post, and a lot of people went crazy about it. They mentioned it, but
Yeah.
basically, what he said is this is what he said. At a Wells Fargo summit in late November, Stewart detailed what he describes as a bit of change of strategy. Here we are for
Hmm.
Microsoft Gaming, the division that houses Xbox and Microsoft's overall gaming efforts. Not announcing anything broadly here, but our first mission is to bring first party experiences and our subscription services to every screen that can play games. That means smart TVs. That means mobile devices. That means what we would have thought as competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Nintendo. Right there, he's giving you the the jargon, and that was in December, and that's following 3 months of really down hardware sales. So, um,
But then after that, Phil came out and
well, he had
said,
the
Game
interview.
Pass won't be
Right,
on
he had the interview with
PlayStation.
Jez, who's actually losing his mind today because I think he feels like Phil could have been more concise and maybe cue him in a little on something. But they're going full party. They're going full
Yeah,
third
but
party.
can I just say something real quick? Everybody that's in here that can speak. Do we think that Microsoft is trying to be number one in game sales or just better than PlayStation?
Number
I
one in
actually
game sales.
They want to make a
I don't think
buck.
it's either.
The former.
Am I speaking?
Yeah, who's speaking?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I wrote some things down. I think Microsoft is looking at it very differently now, especially the new Xbox. Let's say the new Xbox started after Activision came part of it. I think Microsoft cares more about monthly active player counts. I think they care more about their battle pass system within Call of Duty and Sea of Thieves. I think what they care about, and this is what they're selling the investors on, is the amount of monthly active players they get as a total. So that's Xbox Live, that's Minecraft, that's Call of Duty, that's Forza Horizon 5. And unfortunately, I think what probably is going down right now internally at Microsoft.
Damn, he cut
Hello?
out.
Did he cut out of this freaking? I got like 25 requests, guys. So if you're not getting in, it's because I can't add you. This thing is on fire. Can you guys hear me?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Tim,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
Tim
Okay.
got you.
he was
No, but
spitting though.
he was making a lot of sense. But I don't know. The Giorgio, good points. I want to get to you YV. You've been waiting. And Semi, I see you. I can't add you, Brandon. I see you guys. Like I said, we are at.
Tim, I'll tell you what, Tim, I'll get out of the way. I'll drop so you can add somebody else real quickly.
All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
look, it's very simply this: be mad, be upset, bang the table, do whatever. They're just ahead of the curve. This is where gaming is going. Nintendo's already doing PC shit. If you don't know, okay, cool. I'm telling you now, Nintendo's about to do PC shit. It is what it is. I've been in this industry for over 20 years.
Yeah,
This is where we are now. It's not the plastic and I got this
I think
exclusive, you don't
Xbox
have
believes
that.
that, and that's where they're. I agree with you. They're just going for it all right now.
Yeah,
So
no, it is what they're businesses. We feel some type of way about things that happen. I get it. But at the end of the day, simply put, it's money. It's money. It's where it's
And
at.
they don't care.
It's
I
money.
mean,
They don't
half
care
their
what we
games.
we out here at 9:50 Central Time talking, going back and forth to how you feel and jaded and this and the third, and you ride this way or ride that way. Man, it's money. It's what it is. And look, low key, PlayStation's fucking up. They should be day on PC because they're missing money.
well, I think
That's the point.
I think they will in the end
Of
with
course.
PC. I
And when
don't
it
know.
happens, right, whenever,
It makes
but
sense
but
for
but hold on,
them.
real quick. Remember this: whenever Xbox announced day and date on PC, what did everybody say?
Sony will
Oh,
follow.
it's out of here! Oh my God, look at them. They're not exclusive anymore. This, that, and the third,
Yeah, right.
bruh. It's money. And now, fast forward X amount of years later, we're like, PlayStation should do that. You're dumb. You should make more money. You should go do that.
Right.
Just what it is.
No,
Like
I think
it
you make good
sucks.
points. I'm not going to argue with you because I don't think that you're wrong. And I stated why I have a personal issue with it.
Mm.
But you're right; they're going full bore ahead. And if I'm Tim Stewart, I think that he feels that they're in a much better position than they were 3 months ago because I think there was people at Xbox that said this is unsustainable. Game Pass is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Our console sales are shit. We don't have good word of mouth. Anything that we do from is just criticized and killed. And I just think that like if they say, hey, we just do full third party, get all the money, there'll be less people gunning for us, and there could be arguments there, and I do agree with you that they're just going full ahead, and I do think you make some good points. Like I said, I've said why I don't like it.
Right.
I want to hear from YV. You've been very, very respectful, and thank you for being patient. Anybody who's still requesting and haven't got you, Listen, man, we're at 600 people. I
Yeah.
can't do this all night.
I'm gonna leave
So,
right here. I'm gonna let
yeah,
on this.
that's fine. You can still stick
Tim,
on. If you want to talk more, you can just request.
yeah,
YV,
Tim,
what's up? And thank
Tim.
you, YV.
Tim. We literally said when Game Pass showed up, they would put Game Pass everywhere if they could.
They did.
That's not
They did
changed.
say that. Yeah, I wish that somebody would actually pick it up, but
Right.
unfortunately, they're not going that. They're just
Right.
going to release
So
it.
now, if I can't put Game Pass everywhere, then fuck it. Get these games and pay 70
Yeah,
and
exactly.
go for it. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your
All
night,
right,
guys.
brother. Appreciate you. YV, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you can hear me?
Yes. What do you think? What's your overall take? And then I want to get Nor, and then King. You can fucking bash Xbox for
Man, I can tell you one thing, and this I don't like it to speak out about rumors. If this come true, I don't going to to sell my Xbox because I love it. I use Xbox and PC, but this situation is all feel fault because this kumbaya situation is the worst things he left to happen. We need a fucking president like Peter Moore. Why you have all those armor, a bullet, and you are giving to the competition to shoot you in the head? So it's really, really stupid.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. Sony is smart because they're going to take a lot of the money that they get because they're going to be making money off of it. And guess what? They're going to be paying Square Enix to keep more games off of your Xbox. Trust me, that's coming. So I mean, that's another thing. Like you get pissed off at that, but it's the truth. They're going to take
Yeah,
money
and,
that
and,
they
and
make.
also Phil
And they,
Spencer state that all the games that is selling on PlayStation they are taking their part to uh, apart games to Xbox ecosystem. So why you giving more money to PlayStation to keep you out games, keep you out more games? So I don't know or I don't understand
a lot
what
of people
comes
don't.
in the head of Microsoft guys because that's really fucking stupid. Also, the advertisements that Microsoft has is really bad. One thing you can say that Apple, PlayStation do great is the advertisement. Why you don't uh, hide the quality of your advertisement? You have a better console. You have all the money of the fucking world, and you cannot do a simple things. I think I don't see Xbox Doom because if Nintendo could recover for a situation like the GameCube and also the Wii U,
I agree.
Xbox can. Xbox can. So
I
why
agree.
you don't fucking stick with your brand, heal it up, gain more trust from the customers? Because the problem is you lost all the faith the customer has in Xbox One era.
A
So
100%.
you need to take it back. You need to
Well, that's
gain
what
it again.
they once said to me. They said our first, our first, whatever mission is to gain the respect of the fans or gain the trust of the fans. Well, guess what,
Mindshare.
guys? No, it was gain the respect. Sixers, I'll let you. And I want to get now Neuer. He's a very smart guy. I know he's pissed off. And what do you think, Neuer? If I'm saying it right.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
Hello.
I'm doing.
Hello, we can
I'm
hear
doing great, man. I'm having a party over here. Um,
you.
bro, no, like just a couple of thoughts that I think are pretty interesting about this whole thing. Number one,
Mhm.
it's kind of hilarious that the FTC and the CMA went so hard on Xbox,
I
and they
know.
could they could have literally just said, "Hey, man, we're just putting everything on everything." So, and that would have
Yes,
expedited, and they wouldn't have gotten as much shit as they got.
100%, man. But that's why I say it's the last 3 months because they got scooped.
Bro, like
100% though.
it's
You
hilarious.
hit the
They
nail on the
complicated
head.
their
It's
lives.
very
They
funny.
complicated their lives to complicate their lives even more now. Like holy
I
shit! Like
know.
Paid all them legal fees.
Yeah,
That's so true.
bro. Okay, so that's the number one thing that I thought was hilarious.
Oh,
Number two,
very, very smart point.
the
Yeah.
number two, it's I think that this is probably the reason why they were so weird about the Blade announcement. They
Yes, 100%.
they totally were like weird about this because
Yeah.
Blade is probably made by the Xbox, but it's absolutely gonna release on PS5 at this point.
Oh, yeah. Day and date.
Uh, so there's that. I just find the whole thing kind of hilarious. But I will, on a serious note, my biggest frustration here is just the
Hmm.
effect that this is gonna have on the gaming industry as a whole. I mean, PlayStation, like,
I wonder what PlayStation thinks right now. I really, heart of hearts, what they think.
well,
Like, what do you think? What if you're in their position? Do you think this is like, are you cheering if you're there, or are you like, oh, they're really pushing us to the point where we're gonna have to make some changes and we're gonna have to try to get with these times to make things cheaper or whatever, whether it be going full day PC in the
well,
full day to day with PC
Well,
or AI.
here's the thing with me. The part that bothers me is just the people applauding this. This isn't good for anybody. I don't. I mean, I'm a PlayStation gamer. I have a PS5. I can literally just jump there
Yes,
and turn it on, and it's all good. Nothing happened. But the problem that I have is that people applaud this because like like it's almost like they saw like Xbox as some kind of like encumbrance, like some kind of like something that was on the way. Like they just wanted the games, just not have to deal with the console at all. But the console was actually keeping everything grounded. I mean, like Xbox, say
100%.
what you will about them, but they are actually bringing some interesting stuff to the plate. Like the idea of playing anywhere, the idea of just having an ecosystem, like having several devices connecting and they're all interacting with your console. That was cool. They really
Right.
were onto something there. So
Yes, transfer your games, go play here, play there,
yeah,
pick
cloud
it up.
saves.
Yeah,
They really were bringing a lot to the table. I thought, but I mean, at this point, I think the main issue here is not that they are not going to continue selling consoles. I mean, there might be some chumps there that still buy an exclusive X console out there. Who knows? I don't know.
yeah, I
But the
agree.
problem is that this really does hurt the reliability as a
Oh
console.
yeah,
Like, and you're not really going to
the
invest.
hardware
Yeah,
is just
yeah, exactly. You're not going to
bad.
really invest in a company that might pull the plug tomorrow. Who knows? Like, who's like, oh, like this shit didn't
It's
sell
just
enough.
100%.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, no, great points, man. This is first time we really heard you talk. Very well spoken, but 100%. What you made some really good points. It's just like, do you like? How could you try? Like, how could you take them seriously,
Yeah,
or this just so they're just. I mean, I saw it. You when this first came up. I know that you were so like you were pissed. You were like, you can't because we're in the group chat and I was like, okay, and I'm like reading it, and at that point, I'm like, still trying to think that they're maybe not going this way, and then like they just like you said, they lose all reliability with this, like
yeah.
and
And the thing is that I've seen some people trying to like make like weird business numbers or like weird business. Oh, it's just business or this or that,
yeah,
bro. Like the thing you don't understand. The thing that these people don't understand is that the console market is a retail box market.
yes,
It's not like selling. It's not like selling Microsoft Office to a tech company. You know, like oh, like we
yeah,
have this service that you can do, and like no, no, no. You're trying to sell something that a mom that has no idea what's going on
a
is going to
hundred
buy for
percent,
her like 4-year-old kid. That's literally what you're trying to sell here. And when people are trying to do that, they're trying to acquire or get an item that is simple and it's reliable and attractive. That's it. It doesn't have to be complicated. And this legitimately destroys and complicates. And you can literally find a bunch of quotes from XX here and piece them all together, and they're all
yeah,
contradictory. It's super confusing.
it's super
Nobody's
confusing.
going to buy that.
We don't buy our games. We don't care if you. We don't care where you play. Don't buy our games on our console.
Yeah, but
We'll never be
we're
able
and
to
yet
have
we're still selling
console
you a console
games.
though. We're selling a console, but
I
don't buy.
know.
But we don't need it. Like
Play
what?
anywhere. Where Xbox gamers can play anywhere. All our games are everywhere. And
Except
then
physical.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah, except
they
with
still
the
are
physicals.
physical.
So
Physical.
I mean, I just to me it's just sad that that they right now having all the tools to
Yeah.
legitimately like do a really special console. I mean, like literally, legitimately, they have Call of Duty now. All they needed to do was just bundle Call of Duty with their Xbox, and it was gonna
Well,
sell
that's what we
easily.
were all waiting for,
It was just as easy as that, and they have power, and like they were, and they had like they
I know
finally had IPs.
they got Power right out of the gate, but I don't know, man. Like
Yeah,
it's
man.
all. I just think it all caught up to him, and yeah, Kareem, I'm gonna get you. I want King Thrash. Don't go on for an hour. You definitely we got your point yesterday, and you were right. I will give you that. Sixers, I want to hear from you, and then Kareem, I definitely want to hear from you. Neuer, excellent points.
Thanks, man. I
Hey,
appreciate
come
it.
on! You got 25 guys. What we talk all the time. I got listen, 7 guys that I can't even add. So go ahead, King. Or do you want to wait, King? Or do you want to,
I can go after Karim, whatever
All
his
right.
name is.
So
Karim. I'll go
Sixers, that's fine. Sixers, what's up, brother? My fellow fan and Sixer fan and friend.
Yo, Tim, we had a good run, brother. It's over. Just a moment of silence, please.
No way that this is how this guy sounds. No way.
And I got that video on his boot.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God. All right. All right. Kareem, I want to hear what you got to say.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks
How
for
you
having me,
doing?
TimDog.
No
And that
problem.
was funny, Sixers. And great points, more. Uh, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I really don't know. This is pretty wild. This
Yeah.
is really fucking wild. I honestly was just trolling online because I did not expect it to get this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a rumor, and I
Hmm.
choose not to believe it.
Okay.
So until the we get some confirmation.
Well,
But
they're gonna most likely they're gonna, and it's gonna be pretty funny. I think they're gonna talk
the thing
tomorrow.
is, I just really don't understand like why these leaks are coming out. What exactly was Microsoft trying to do? Is Satya
Well,
like really
this is what
telling
I've
Phil that he has
heard.
to change something? Because it seems to me that I remember when Phil mentioned that Satya told him that should we just get rid of Xbox? And he told him no, I'll work on it and
That
we'll
was
make
in
something happen.
2017, and then he
Yeah.
came up with an idea. And then Phil actually did help save Xbox. So that was eons ago. But what I've heard, and it's from people that know and people that have really good sources, and the people that I've got, like I knew last night, so Starfield was the game that was going, and I couldn't believe it. I refused to believe it until the morning when I saw more confirmation. But what happened was is that one of the reasons why this is leaked the way it's leaked is because the person who leaked this was hoping that they would get an absolute outraged community like they are getting, thinking that they could sway Xbox to have second thoughts. The problem with that is that when you're at a CFO level and you've done this isn't Game Pass. This isn't something that this isn't Xbox Live here where they're raising the price or they're just doing that to just make Xbox Game Pass look more attractive and push you in that direction. That was all that was. So they could reverse course on that. Something like this, they're not reversing course. Even with the backlash that they've gotten and they will get, because it's going to get this week is going to be real bad. But that's why I've heard that's been dribbled the way it has been. And quite frankly, they haven't addressed it, and it's gotten to the point where it went from bad to worse. Like they've strung this along, they strung Xbox fans along, and they've absolutely got to the point where everyone is pissed off. Some people are saying, hey, shut up, you can play the games on Game Pass, it's just a business. But to those people, I say, well, what about what they said? What about the vision that they sold us? What about the things that they, pushed on us in their vision? So here we are right now, and it's real, Kareem. I can tell you that much. I mean, I got pretty good sources within the industry, and I spoke to Tom Warren before he tweeted. I spoke to Keegley. I spoke to other people, and this is stuff that they've heard, and it's real. So, Starfield's one of the games. Indiana Jones, obviously, Tom Warren talked about. Hellblade 2, that's probably going to be a 6 monther. But eventually, they're going to, in my opinion, go day and date, and they're going to be non physical. They'll have a new console in 2026. Xbox is going to get Game Pass, is going to get ads for a tier that can get more people on the Game Pass, because they have to grow that. And that's where they're at now. That's their strategy. And as I said, in my opinion, the strategy is 66% fulfilled. The 34% of the console is completely left at the door, and it's a big issue.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand that. What I don't understand is the timing. Why now? I mean, like
Agreed.
it's like it's a really really odd time to do it
Agreed.
when
It's the fiscal year. That's why.
they just
It's because of the
started
fiscal
to
year.
really kick ass.
I'm just
Huh?
letting you know. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just saying it's the fiscal year. That's why it's starting. That's
It
why it's
definitely
happening
could
at
be
this time.
typically. It also could be
Uh,
that the last 3 months in sales. Listen, let's be honest. They have Starfield comes out in September, and then they have the Xbox console at 349 in December, and nobody cares. And the console's getting almost sold 2 to 1, 3 to 1 in Europe, and getting outsold in its home country at the
yeah, I
major
mean,
shops.
I understand console sales and all that, but I see they were trying to push for Game Pass. So if they were trying to push for Game Pass, they could have maybe gave Game Pass a lot more value, where it's like you get these games at least 6 months to a year early.
Hmm.
But doing it day and date, that would be pretty stupid in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's all being discussed. In my opinion, once they open it up, it just it'll probably 6 months to day and date. And we're also Xbox guys are gonna have to realize that when the games come out and then they're coming out on the Pro, you could have Starfield running at 60 frames per second, bug free, and you could also have Forza Horizon at 120 frames per second. I think they're going to go full bore into this. I do think that they're going to reach what they want to reach, their quotas, but I feel like the old statement, you cut your nose off to spite your face. They absolutely killed hardware. Hardware is done. If I'm in that boardroom and I talk about 2026 and say, bag that thing up. That thing's done on arrival, dead on arrival. People are just gonna wait for PlayStation because they know they can get all their games there, and they don't have to deal with this, half mixed messaging console that they left for dead last generation. So unfortunately,
Well, I
that's what we're
guess
here.
yeah, that does suck, but we'll see how it turns out. I mean, for example, like the sales, like what if the sales don't turn out to be that great? Like
Well,
what are they going to do next?
they're stuck with a huge bunch of egg on their face, and they've done this, uh, way too early. Agreed with you. I appreciate you as an Xbox fan, as a somebody that I think that I love your posts, but I mean, I just like I
Thanks,
said,
man. Appreciate it.
anytime I just can't support what they're doing, and I want to go to King now, and King. Even I'll give him credit. He said this in his
Bruh,
announcement.
bruh. This is gonna be
Um,
fun.
but he definitely said things like even on the side of his of PlayStation, he's been very critical about the PC portion, and he thinks that it devalues the console. And so I mean, he's been also of just he's been against this type of stuff. So what do you think? Do you think that Xbox is done with hardware, King? And where do you what's your opinion of this whole thing?
All right. I'm driving. Well, my wife is driving, so
It's okay.
forgive me. But